Hi guys, this is Russ Howe. Thank you for coming to check out today's video. In today's video, I want to discuss excuses, okay? Following through on what you say you want to do or finding excuses. Which do you do? In this video, I'm going to show you a couple of examples, okay, from my everyday life. Because for the last few years, I've had this way of thinking which has literally allowed me to change how I live. How to not only get the job which I wanted, but how to keep it and how to progress with it, and also how to change my financial life completely by working for myself as well. And I'm going to get across this way of thinking to you, because hopefully I can help at least just one person today watching this video to sort of change their mindset a little. I realized in my 20s, I felt like nothing was going for me, like I wasn't in the career that I wanted to be in and stuff like that. And the day that I realized what I was doing wrong, and I realized it's just a tiny, tiny part of my mind that was just going the wrong way, and as soon as I changed it, everything changed. Loads of doors opened for me, and since then I've never looked back. And now I live my life in a totally different way. I'm a different person to what I was back then, you know? Dealing with the consequences of our actions, taking responsibility. When we want to do something, we are the only one responsible for making that happen. And a lot of the time, that fact gets lost because there is always someone in your life, there's always an asshole in your life that's trying to stop you, trying to hold you back, or telling you can't do something, or laughing at you. And a lot of the time, we take that with more importance than we should, and we let them. The most important thing there, the most important error is that we let them, not that they did it. There's always going to be an asshole. You have to deal with it. Just accept it. But a lot of people can't, you know. And I'm going to give you a few examples here now. We change because we're not like that when we're kids. You know, like if I was a kid, my dream would be I wanted to play for England. Wanted to play football for England. Even though if you watch the other videos for me, you'll see when I was a kid, my left leg, my hip crumbled, I couldn't even walk. But if somebody tried telling me that I could not play for England when I grow up, you know, if I went up to someone and said, "Oh kid, you're not gonna do what you want to do in life," they'd be like, "Whoa, Russ, you can't tell me what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play for England regardless of whether my leg is fine or not. I'm gonna do it." But sometimes when we're growing up, we lose that. We lose that mentality of, you know, screw what you think. I'm going to do this because I want to do it. And we get sucked into the daily mire, the daily grind, where we seem to forget we only have one life. You know, every moment that goes past, that's it now. That moment's done. I've just spent 5 moments telling you that they're gone now. But the fact is, it was worth it, because this video is hopefully going to help you change your life. So that was good. You just don't want to waste moments, okay? And I'm trying to get you into that right mindset now in this video where you can start making the most of every opportunity you have, because those who make the most of life find more opportunities. A lot of people say nothing happens for them, nothing works, nothing seems to come up for them because they've got that mindset. That's why. Good things only happen to people who are looking for good things. There's not really such a thing as luck. Doors only open if you're standing in front of that door waiting for it to open. You know, if you're not even there, how do you know that the door never opened for you? We try to find excuses when we decide to do something. If we don't really, deep down, really want to do it, then we will find any excuse. It's just the way of the world. I've done this myself, as I'll explain, okay? But how many people have you known, for example, who say that's it, they're giving up smoking. 15 minutes later, they're on the next break smoking. And you know, if you say why, they will have an excuse. And it will be a valid excuse to that person because they wanted to do it. You know, they said they wanted to give up, but then they decided that I just want the smoke. But generally they don't say that. They'll be like, well, oh yeah, I do want to give up, but then I just had this bad phone call from a customer at work, or a bad piece of paperwork, and I just thought, You also get the folks that decide they want to change their lives, but it's Thursday, I'll wait till Monday. It doesn't have to be 9 o'clock on a Monday to change your life. That's the first excuse right there. You're setting yourself up to fail. When you decide you're going to do something and it's a big decision in your life, it's going to change your future, or change your appearance or anything like that, it's the same day for everybody who makes that decision. D-Day. Not Monday, not Tuesday. The last training program I did in the gym, I started on a Saturday. It doesn't matter what day it is. But by starting, you make this big decision to change something in your life forever. And then the first thing you do, the first decision you make after that, is an excuse. That's not changing anything. That's just carrying on, putting on a little front. Which might make you feel better, like, oh, it's okay because on Monday I'm going to start doing this. You'll get to Monday and nothing will happen, nothing will change, you know. With me, this hasn't always been the way I am. A lot of people who know me now think of me as, you know, I'm very outgoing. I work for myself, you know, I'm a full-time dad and personal trainer as well. And I find life to be quite infectious. I like to be around people who love their lives. But back like 10 years ago, I was really shy. I had no confidence. I didn't like my appearance. I weighed about 8 stone. I always had a dream of getting into fitness as a career, but I was really self-conscious. You know, I was scared to tell people in case they laughed, because fitness instructors and stuff is normally associated with people really outgoing or like they look as if they use the gym, and I didn't either of those. In a social situation, I'd be the guy that didn't want to get noticed. I'd keep my head down, you know, and totally different to now. But there came a point when I hit about 20, 21, and I thought, I'm going along in life here, and before I know it, it's going to be over, and I haven't even tried doing the things that I want to do. I only get one of these lives. I need to at least try doing what I want to do with it. Because I'm going from job to job, don't like any of them, and I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. But all along, I kind of know what I want to do, and I'm just frightened to try in case people laugh. Because one thing I learned is once I did try, yeah, people laugh. But they laugh no matter what it is that you try. The first time is the only time it'll get to you. When I first said to people, I want to start using the gym, I'm not happy with my appearance, there was people who laughed at me and mocked me, and I let it get me down. Because I thought they were right. They were laughing, saying, you know, look at you though, you're tiny, you can't use the gym. And I thought, well, for some reason I thought they were right. I thought, yeah, I need to be a bit bigger before I can go to the gym. People will laugh. The gym, obviously, that's what it's for. It's to help you do that. But at the time, I let them get me down. I always say losers love to be around other losers, so they can all moan and keep each other down and drag other people down with them, making excuses, and makes themselves feel better, I guess. And that's what they were doing to me. They were dragging me down, and the worst part is I was as much to blame for them because I let them. I believed their nonsense and I didn't do it. And it got to a point where, like I say, I was about 21 and I thought, you know what, screw it. The worst they can do is laugh at me and mock me, and they already did that. So at least I can just go and try. And I went and I loved it, and I started to build up. I added about 3 stone of muscle. I decided that I loved it as much as I had hoped, and I wanted it to be a career. And you know what? The first time I said, I think I actually want to have a job in fitness, those same guys that laughed at me when I said I wanted to go to the gym were now laughing at me, saying, oh, you can't be a fitness instructor, you're too shy, or loads of excuses. You need to go to college and do this. And I thought, well, okay, I'll do that. And I just went and did it, you know. And the same thing again when I wanted to move into personal training. Same thing again, especially when I wanted to work for myself from home like I do now, you know. And no matter what, there's always going to be an asshole in your life. It only becomes relevant if you start believing in it and you start using it as an excuse. I find that with me, I mean, maybe I should take 5 seconds out of this video to say hi to those guys. You know, I hope everything's okay. Working that same job that they were doing 10 years ago, complaining every day, that they didn't like it and then doing nothing about it. I mean, you know, here's the guy that they were laughing at for wanting to change things, and yeah, I've gone and done it. I'm happy now. And if those guys are still sat there doing the same old nonsense that they didn't even like back then, that's their issue. It's their problem. And there'll be people like that in your life. You think the friend you don't want to be stuck in a lift with, that's the guy I'm talking about. The guy that makes excuses and moans all the time, but there's nothing about it, you know, does the same job every year, complains every day. But if you give him a suggestion to go and change something, they'll come up with a million excuses why they can't or why it'll not work. You just got to accept that those guys exist, you know, because they will drag you down. Only if you let them. Okay, everything you think in your life, you have to treat it like you literally only have one, because let's face it, you do. But somewhere when we're growing up, we get stuck into the routine and we don't realise how fast time is going past us. And before you know it, I mean, I'm 30 years old now, and thank God, when I was 21, I realised where I was going wrong. Even now, I've got regrets that I didn't do it when I was 15, 16. I really have, because an extra 5 years doing what I loved, that would be awesome. There's people who will stop you or want to stop you no matter what it is that you're trying to do. Okay, for me, you know what? It's been with literally everything, even to becoming a dad. A lot of my friends mocked me at that as well. You'll not be able to become a dad, you know. And you just step up. When it's something you want to do, you have to do it. It's you against you. That's all life is. There's no roof for your potential. There's only how hard you push yourself. Screw anyone that gets in your way. They've got their life to deal with. One life is enough in terms of managing all the things you want to do. You know, if they want to interfere in yours, they're just wasting their own. I found that when I wanted to move from what I was doing a couple of years ago into working for myself, again, there's a lot of people that were saying, oh, you couldn't do that. But you know what, right, guys? Those were the same fools that were telling me that I wouldn't have been able to get into fitness. I hope you've watched this video and enjoyed it, and just maybe it's opened your mind a little bit to the fact that excuses are only used if we don't genuinely want to achieve what we set out to. When you really, really want something, you will get it. And you will make time to get it. You'll take no, pardon the French, but you will take no bullshit from anybody who gets in your way when you want to do something in your life. You just find time, you find the strength. Right now, baby Jackson's asleep in the next room, and I'm finding time to do this video because I really want to. And this has helped me in life. This is how I go through life, and you get this wonderful sense of freedom. It's a very careful way of thinking. You only do things that you really want to do, and you succeed at everything because that's just who you become. It's helped me not only in my career, but you know, like I say, being a dad. Thanks very much for watching this video, and if you know any people like that in your life, seriously, the only time they'll become a problem, okay, no matter what it is that you want to do, the only time ever where you cannot do what you want to do is when you start listening to fools like that. Thanks very much. Bye bye.